Hi, everybody. Russ the Western Network. Hope you are all safe and wherever you any, give it a like, a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Now, we played Brentford in a couple of hours' time. Could really do about the game, in all honesty, couldn't we? Particularly with the semi-final tie in such sort, it's still on a knife edge, really. Although we do go to Amsterdam with a 2-1 advantage, it's still, it's still all to play for, and they're a good side, AZ. They're a good football inside, and I've likened them when I was talking to people about them. I liken them to Brighton in terms of how they, keep the ball well, possession-based game. But actually, I think going to the AFAS Stadio on Thursday, leading 2-1, is actually a really good thing, because actually what's our sort of our maison d'etre, what's our MO in terms of our gameplay is basically counter-attacking, keeping the defense tight and hitting on the break. And I think that's perfect for this game. We can let them have the ball, but any opportunity we need to then pounce and nick a goal and who knows. But obviously this Brentford game's in between these two these two semi-finals and so legs. So for me, it's about rotation, and I think for every fan, it's about rotating literally as many players as possible, so they are fresh as a daisy for Thursday. AZ play MC. It's not MC. It's FC. It's not M&M. FC Emin. At 7 o'clock on or later on tonight as well. So they play them late, a few hours later, not massively different there. But obviously, they don't have to travel to their own home ground for the Thursday. But I think we'll hopefully rotate the side as much as possible. So this is probably the one I'm going to get more wrong than ever, in all honesty. But let me know yours before obviously the team gets announced. We'll see how clever you are compared to me. Quite much so, I'd imagine. In goal, easy, Fabianski. It's Premier League. It's Fabianski. I think Ario was a bit of fault for the goal on Thursday, but he's the European keeper. Fabianski is the Premier League goalkeeper. Now I think we'll keep to the back four. Now, obviously, that there was a bit of change in the back four. Obviously, Kurt Zuma came back. Moisey said there was a good chance he might not play. But also, by saying there's a good chance he might not play, that means there's a chance he might have played. And obviously, he did. And we saw the dressing room pictures of the was it Instagram or TikTok of Zuma's shirt hung up. It's like. And obviously, then I saw Kurt walk in, and I thought, well, there we go. He's definitely going to play then. So whether he is, I don't think he was 100% fit. I think he was probably about 80, 85, but he still played 90 minutes. And I thought maybe the fact that Ogbonna wasn't on the bench at all, and apparently it might have been illness or sickness. So maybe they took a calculated risk playing Zuma on Thursday, potentially. I don't think any of them will feature today in terms of Zuma, or again, if we can handle it. Literally, I think we'd try and keep as many that first team, so to speak, that first team on the bench, and hopefully we won't need them too much. Obviously, we're not we're not mathematically safe. Obviously, we can't find that out until maybe until this week's fixtures are finished. But anything would help. But obviously, then we've got Leeds next week, and hopefully with a what's it called, hopefully with a semi-final. We've progressed and got through to the final. That Leeds game will be a really good game, and there'll be a real celebration. Last game of the season as well. Potentially last game, see Declan Rice in a West Ham shirt at London Stadium. So there'll be a hell of a lot. And obviously Big Sam will be there, so the pantomime villain. So the crowd will be up for it, and hopefully the players will be up for it as well, coming back from Amsterdam with us progressing, hopefully. So Fabianski's in goal. Back four, I think Ben Johnson comes in at right back. He's been on the bench quite a lot this season, last few games particularly. Obviously, he had a bit of a run out when Vlad got injured. I don't think Vlad will feature. I don't think he's fit yet. I think you might see him before the end of the season. There's been no time scale on him. There's been obviously a lot of talk about Skamaka. There's been a lot of talk about Zuma, but not so much with Vlad. I mean, he's been walking around, pitch side pretty much last couple of games. So it's not like he's can't walk or anything like that. So we'll see what happens there. He may come in, but I don't think they'll risk him if they can help it. Maybe even have him back in time for the Thursday game. You never know. With that in mind, I think Tilo Kira actually comes in at centre back. Didn't have a great game. Considering also, be fair, he's at Alkmaar. I mean, you have Jasper Carlson usually plays left wing, who's like, I think they call him the Dutch on the Swedish Neymar or something like that. And he wasn't in the side, so that whole left side will be completely different on their left side on Thursday, because obviously the left back as well was suspended. So that left side will be totally different. And he didn't have the best game at all. He obviously played fantastic against Man United the week before, but not so much. But I think he'll move into the centre-back positions because I think if we can, I would try and keep Zuma and again in cotton wool and not play him. And with that in mind, hopefully Oggy will be back and I'd put Oggy in alongside Tilo. So you've got that pace. Moisey might go with Aged and Kira or Aged and Oggy. Naif has the fitness to play three games in 8 days or whatever. So we'll see what happens there. Right back, I think Emerson comes in. I think Cresswell will be favoured for the left back. So it's almost like he's picking the two sides now. He's picking the side that's going to happen again for Brentford with the side with the second leg in mind. So for me, Emerson is in that position today, and then on Thursday, Cresswell comes back in. Midfield, I think Downs comes in for Souček. There's been a lot of calls for Downs to come in. I know Souček isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I think he does a lot of stuff off the ball, and I think he allows people to the likes of Paqueta to play more advanced because he's there. And it's almost like it's taken him a while to rely on Souček, if that makes sense. Paqueta wanted to do everything, and actually he can rely on Souček to do that donkey work, so to speak, so he can get involved when he wants to get involved, rather than feels like he has to get involved all the time. I think that's why you're seeing a different Paqueta in the last half a dozen games or so. Alongside Downs, I think Rice plays. I think if he's fit, he plays. He might get a rest. But then again, throughout the whole of April, I think he played bar 20 minutes that game. He played every game, regardless of whether we were home, away, or whatever. If Rice is fit, he plays. And particularly with a makeshift side around him, you need some solidity, and him and Downs would bring that in the centre of the parks. Number 10 slot, so to speak. I think it's Lanzini. I think let's give Lanzini a run out. This could be again the last time you see Manuel Lanzini start a game for West Ham. If rumours to be believed, if rumours are meant to be believed, he's back. He's off back home to River Plate in the summer, so could be his swan song potentially, or maybe we qualify for the final, and maybe he's given some time against Leicester, the last game of the season. Maybe, who knows? On the right side, I'd rest Bowen. It's got to be Cornet time. It has to be Cornet time. This is the game. You start Cornet. We need someone to sort of like do a job on one of the wings. Put Cornet on. You know what I mean? Because particularly if you're not playing Cornet, I've dropped Benny as well. We haven't got a lot of pace, and Cornet has it in abundance. And so I'd put Cornet in. Right hand side Fornals, left hand side Fornals comes in, or maybe that swaps all around and Cornet goes left and Fornals goes right, or it moves all around a little bit, or Fornals tucks in and Emerson pushes more forward and we play almost like a back three. Cornet, so there's options there. But I think Fornals needs some game time as well. And up front, I think Danny starts. I think Danny Ings starts, from the outset. Maybe push Cornet and play two up front. 4-2-2-2, maybe. Who knows? But I think the only thing we haven't got there is a lot of physicality. So someone like Souček might come in, maybe for Rice, and Souček comes in just so you've got that sort of bit of physical nature. Or maybe Souček comes in for Rice. Lanzini drops to the Rice position, and Souček plays as like a number 10 potentially. It's going to be. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what he does, and whether he gives 60 minutes. He gives Paqueta half an hour to run out. I'd love to see Mbama given a run out. I mean, for me, the 18s, 21s they're done now. Their season's finished, so we can utilise them. I imagine you'll see quite a few from the bench, maybe as well. I mean, yes, on when was it? Yes, no, Thursday. What was Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. On Thursday, you had Freddie Potts on the bench, Devine on the bench, Joseph and Nang on the bench. Maybe I'd like to see maybe someone like Casey on the bench. You know what I mean? Just give us. Not saying Casey could come in and do a great job at centre back here. You know, so Ollie Scarles, but I don't think we really need Ollie's much. I think Emerson will play that role, but there's going to be. I mean, that's not going to be it. There's going to be jiggery pokery. There's going to be a few raised eyebrows because you say, "Well, why are we not resting him?" But that's why we're talking on a YouTube. You're watching rather than at Rush Green, isn't it? That's the trouble. Or at the community stadium because they'll be there now because we kick off in a couple of hours' time. But anyway, let me know what you think. I'll be really, really interested to know because I think there's going to be lots of differing opinions. I mean, pretty majority of the fan base is like rotate, rest players for Thursday. That's the priority now. But we know David Moyes as well, don't we? We know him. That's the trouble. We know he won't put at rest. I mean, I've got one. Yeah, one because I think I'd like to, maybe two with Tilo Kira. Two of the 11, played on Thursday. So that's just under 20%. But we know he's probably a couple more name. Like Bowen will probably play because he always plays Bowen. Bowen might come onto the right hand side, maybe, and Cornet go to the left hand side, and maybe put Fornals in at Rice and then Lanzini. So there's loads of different options. But that's what I think. That's what I'd go with. I think. But anyway, let me know what you think. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you for the watch along in a bit. Take care. Bye bye.